Hello, hello. It's nice to be back. So, today, I really want to finish this. Since this is for a competition, and the competition, I think the actual, like, the entries are due by the 15th of April, which is about 3 weeks away. So if it might be 4. Oh well. I have enough time, but I want to finish this today. And luckily, last time we finished the owl bit, and since then, like off camera, I did these kind of like white details and such. I had to do it with acrylic paint. It was kind of a pain, but hopefully it's looking closer to the owl now. I have the reference picture up there so that you kind of know what I'm going for, but I'm really liking this owl. Honestly, I think the drawing of this owl is about how big it is in real life, and I love that. But luckily, I think all we need to do is just finish up the background, because I've already done the owl, the environment, and the moth, which are the 3 main things that I wanted to do. So I'm erasing all of the other lines I've made up until this point, which is kind of a pain, because I've made a lot of lines, and none of them are erasing. But after that, I'm gonna get into my notebook and try to figure out some things on how I want to do this. Because my original idea was to do trees in the background and do just a really dark green. But that was before I came up with all of these evergreens. So I don't think I want to do green, like lots of green. I might do a little bit, but that's a whole thing of in itself. But I think I want to do mountains. Like I might do mountains with trees on them, because this little lad does live in coniferous forests. So I just did pine trees because they're easy and native to North America, where this lad lives. And while doing the background, I tried to do a moon last time. It's this blob. I don't think it worked out very well, and so I was talking to someone and they recommended that I just turn that into the dark spot of the moon and just have it be a crescent moon. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think I'm just gonna plan it out and then kind of go around it, like with the background like sky color, and then I will do the actual moon bit at the end. But I do want to make that darker, because that isn't a moon anymore, so it's a dark spot. I'm so glad that I went back in with the white details, because man, I wasn't really happy with how it looked last time. Although it looked good, it just didn't look the way I wanted it to. And then I went back in about, I think it was yesterday, and I did all of those white details with the paint, and with my small brushes. Like, they're super tiny brushes. They're meant for like nails and such. They're about, like, I think this is my biggest one, and it's just a tiny little thing, and then I have a couple of really small fine-tipped ones. So I have like 5 of those. They're meant to be used with nail polish, but when I tried using it with nail polish, it didn't look good. So yep, acrylic paint it is. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this moon, because like we got the dark spot, and I'm gonna do little craters, but I'm not sure. And I don't really want to do the moon until I get the background in, but oh well. I think that's dark enough, or at least for now. I might make it darker if the background ends up being darker, but I think I want to go a dark blue. So I think, yeah, since I sketched out the moon, it's gonna be palette time. So I think I want to do like a mountain range. I'm not gonna draw the owl bit in, because I just want the background. I'm gonna cut it in half so I can do 2 ideas, because I think I want the mountain range with like some trees. Wow, that's really bad, but I guess the idea across little bushes, spiky things. Those are really big trees, but they're just gonna be tiny little things. And then I'll have the sky up here, and I think I might go back in with white again. Maybe I should have waited on the white until after this stream, but I might go back in and add tiny little stars all over the sky. I'm not sure yet. So I think we'll do the palette over here. I might use these. These are technically from a different project. One of my teachers gave it to me at one point in my life, and I just haven't used them much, but I've been using them on a project lately, but I'm not liking the project, so I just bring them over here so I can use it on this. So I might lightly sketch it out. I don't know, just do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the trees on this. Honestly, I might go in with... I might get lazy and instead of trying to layer it properly, just do the mountains and then go back in with green acrylic paint while I'm doing the stars. And just add the trees in with that. Because I can at least kind of do trees in acrylic. I mean, I'm not too bad at pine needles in this case, but, you know, it's still a process. So I think... Ooh, and then with the mountains I can add in little shadows and bits. That could be cool. Then again, if I'm blending with white, I might just be able to go over the gray pretty easily. I'm kind of liking that. It's a bit dark, but oh well. I mean, background's gonna kind of be dark anyway, so. I'm not the best at mountains, but we're vibing. We're vibing here. I mean, anything that I can do, I will try. But yeah, there's just tiny little lines. And then, actually, yeah, let's try. This isn't the green I want to use. I might not want to try doing individual trees like I just did, but I could do like tiny little dots and things, and then I could go back in with the white, kind of blend it all in just to make it blend better. And I think that's kind of nice. I mean, it's, you know, a sketch, so just kind of existing, but I think that's gonna be good for now. The white and black colored pencils came in handy. Honestly, this white is so nice to blend with. It's a much harder lead, which I'm not used to, but it's really nice to blend with. So I usually end up doing the darker shades and then blending it with white, and then they don't end up dark anymore because I'm, you know, blending it with white. But we're gonna try this. So I think the sky is what I'm nervous about, because I've done all of this in such vibrancy, and I'm really bad at lighting. And by really bad, I mean I haven't practiced. So that's a fun time. But I think with this, I want to go with blue, so this colored pencil is my saddest colored pencil, but it's also because it's my best colored pencil. That, and my olive green right here, I waited on using that because I just love it so much. But it's so nice. Like, I think I'll add like a bit of purple in or have it gradient, but for now we're going to just fill the entire thing in with this blue. I always end up doing skies with this blue, which is why it's so worn out. Let's do that, and then maybe I can add like a little bit of purple, and I can blend that. And then after that, I'm gonna have black. I might add in just a little bit of black up at the top, just to kind of say, oh no, it's getting dark. Or I might switch it, honestly, because the moon's up here. But I think that if I blend it the opposite way that my strokes are, it'll turn out nice. And I'm definitely blending it with this white because, oh man, it's so nice to blend with. Honestly, I think gradienting skies is one of my favorite things to do in all art because it's just so satisfying. And then, yeah, honestly, I'm kind of liking the darker shade with the black there. It's a bit hard to see. I'll probably add more in, but I think that would look kind of nice. It's just like slight differences, and I'm kind of liking that. The bottom looks more purple in real life. It's kind of picking up bad on the camera, but I'm liking that. So then I could add in kind of little stars. Hopefully the gel pen works because I'm not getting the paint out today. I'm going to do that off screen if I do, which I probably will because I'm stubborn and like to do things. I don't know. Once I set my mind to something, I kind of just do it. I mean, kind of pretty little stars because the white gel pen doesn't pick up very well. Probably aren't even able to see them, but they're kind of on there. But I like that. I like that a lot. And it still kind of fits with the vibrant theme because, man, I don't know how to do lighting. But yeah, we're rolling with it. So I think let's it's basically this stream is just going to be a lot of me doing the same thing over and over again because it's just filling in background, but I'm gonna try. So I have this, and I think that's pretty good, and I'm actually gonna lay out where some of the more like rocky bits are because then I will know where to shade and I won't have to think about it too much later. But then again, I don't exactly know what I'm doing, so, but I mean, doesn't everyone? I don't think anyone in this world knows exactly what they're doing or how things are going to turn out. Predicting the future is pretty hard, and I'm honestly kind of glad for that. I mean, if it wasn't, then everyone would be predicting the future, and then it wouldn't even turn out the way it is because, I don't know, that opens up a whole new alleyway or train of thought or whatever. I've been thinking recently about how weird it is that our minds think completely different and like the way that we learn. It's interesting because my brain works in very certain layers, and I was talking to someone today and they were like, yeah, my brain kind of like it's very loud and like a lot of sounds are always going on, and I'm like, what? Because the only sounds that are ever in my brain is some music, and it's usually a very obscure tune that I made up or just me talking. But I mean, some other people don't have a voice in their heads, so that's honestly, it's so interesting. I love thinking about stuff like that. I've been tempted to take psychology courses, but I'm very occupied with other things. Yes, Stasis, yeah, it's so interesting. Like, yeah, it's great, honestly. Like, those are the shower thoughts that I go for. I don't go for is a hot dog a sandwich because that's an obvious yes. I go for the weird psychological questions like, do our minds perceive the same way? Yeah. I don't know, it's really interesting. Scribbling, scribbling, scribble time. I'm still kind of learning how to do textures and stuff, so we'll figure it out. I do want to do a slightly darker shade on this little bump here, just cause I can. And hopefully, with the blue and the gray in the background, it won't distract too much from the oranges of the owl, and I hope the blue will kind of complement it, and the green will serve as kind of like a nice little bit. Honestly, it might have just been smart to work with the complementary colors of the orange and the blue, but I don't know, we're already here and I'm not starting over because I would die if I started over. Like, I don't have enough time nor patience for that. I've already worked so hard, not doing it again. Okay, cool. Let's see how this one turns out. The one terrible thing with white colored pencils is they pick up colors so easily, which I mean, A, makes it easier to blend, but it makes it really, really dirty. It just kind of sucks in that way. Okay, found a pencil sharpener. Woo! Because I am going to be grinding this white colored pencil down to dust. Because I need to learn how to take better care of my colored pencils. But, blending time. I think, yeah, I'm just gonna add the trees on top of the mountain. And there is not nearly enough in some places. But if we do get enough, it's fine. It's blending time. Woo! Honestly, I love the way that things look blended. I have no talent for digital art whatsoever because I haven't practiced, but I love that like smooth texture, and being able to replicate that on paper is honestly so fun for me. These colored pencils have weird noises that come from them. It's like they're squeaking on the paper and like rubbing at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but you know what, that's that's the pain of being a traditional artist, is your tools make noise. Okay, cool. I like this. I'm liking this. It's a bit rough right now, but I mean, I literally just came up with this about 5 minutes ago, so I think it's going well. Already time to sharpen it. I'm always afraid that my pencils are gonna break because sometimes, again, I need to take better care of my colored pencils, but the lead in some of my colored pencils is kind of broken. So occasionally, I'll try to sharpen a pencil and it'll break, and I'll go, was this the sharpener's fault or my fault? In either case, it was probably my fault. So that's always a fun, terrifying experience. I'm kind of liking the texture that it gives when it, because I'm not fully blending this, and by fully I mean I'm pressing down as hard as I can, but I didn't put enough on here, but it's fine, whatever. I'm just a fool sometimes, oh well. But I'm kind of liking the texture that the lines give it. I always try to plan at least a little bit ahead on how my lines are going to work, because I know that I'm never going to be able to fully blend anything. So when I plan correctly, it actually looks like texture instead of mistakes. Honestly, I wonder if that's just what texture is. Like, there's two ways to make texture, and it's intense planning and little planning and happy accidents, and those two go together. I feel like little planning and happy accidents go together quite well. And I feel like that's at least a good portion of what my art is. Today's just gonna be a lot of blending. I swear I'm gonna have blended this entire page by the time I'm done. I'm kind of liking that. I do think I need a bit more down here. But I think it's going good. Maybe I just need to go out and buy a bunch of white colored pencils like this. I think there's packages of just white colored pencils. Maybe I just need to buy one of those to blend with. But I'm liking how this is turning out. It actually kind of looks like background mountains instead of just a blob of gray, because that's what that turned out as, and I turned that into a moon. Okay, second mountain time, and then we'll add trees. Woo! If I finish this today, I might, like if I finish this too early and I have more time to stream, I might work on one of my cross-stitch projects. Because I, believe it or not, I don't only work on competition birds. I do, in fact, have a life. And then I think we're gonna go right here and right here as new little mountain hill things or whatever. Cool. Mountain A done. Or at least done as far as I can get it. Still need to blend though. Fun fact, I went to the library yesterday and I got 6 books and I haven't read in a very long time. The most recent thing I read was actually it was a novel. I'm lying. I have read, but before that I haven't read in a long time. Like, I've been trying to get back into reading. It's just been kind of hard. But you gotta be able to try to keep reading at least, or else you're gonna forget how to read and not have the attention span for it anymore. Because that's happened to me, and so I'm trying to get back into reading. But closest I've gotten is poetry and graphic novels, so we're at that stage right now. But honestly, I'm kind of fine with it. It gives me that light little bit, like, break. And also graphic novels, the art is always so pretty. Or at least it has a style, and that's what I want to learn, is because I can, straight up, just copy off of an image. But, like, the reference picture in this, they're not too similar. Like, I tried to make this my own because that's just a reference image. But if I were to want to, I could copy down most details. Like, I'm pretty good at just copying a realistic image. Like, whatever. I feel like I've done good in that area so far, and I don't need to progress that skill any farther right now. And I really just want to learn how to have my own, like, cartoon style so that I can animate things, because that's yet another art form I want to learn. But I haven't had the time. And B, any art classes in a traditional school setting, they're never going to be art or cartoon style based. They're always going to be realistic based, and I think that really sucks. And I understand why, because they have a standard to compare you to. It's like, okay, they can instruct you better on how to make things look realistic because you have a goal to reach toward. But with stylized stuff, you don't have a goal to reach for. It's just kind of, I guess, vibing. Like, that's literally the best way I can describe it, is you have your own, like, set of goals and stuff, but that's not something that a teacher can really help you with. And if so, those teachers are very few and far between, and I do not have any that I have met. So it kind of sucks, in my opinion, that there aren't as many, like, or like not, I meant like cartoon or stylized classes, because I genuinely would like to learn how to do that kind of stuff, and I know that it's a very like personal journey, but I don't have the time because I'm taking all these art classes that are focusing on realistic things, and I can't focus on two things at once, especially when I'm putting so much time into one. Maybe one day I'll have enough time to develop my own kind of style. I mean, I kind of do already have a style. Like, I've used pen this week to draw many flowers on my arm. In fact, I have another one up here. But I only really have a style with flowers. And I'm not even sure, like, I know that that style is gonna continue to develop, but I'm not sure how to, like, relate that style to other things, especially humans, because humans really are really hard. I need to take more figure drawing classes, but that's another subject. Yeah, it's a whole thing, and I really wish that there was more stylized, like, finding yourself in the art bit, because, I don't know, realistic is fun, it's a goal to work towards, but it's also just, it's kind of sad. For me, you know, it's like, I've already kind of experimented in this, I want to do something else, and then the school's like, the classes and stuff are all like, no, you gotta do other things, and yeah, keep working on this realistic art, and I'm like, that's just my whole vibe. And like, I love landscapes, I love flowers, I love all that stuff, but also look at that, like, this isn't realistic, this is just having a good time. And I'm pretty sure I've gone over all of these drawings at least 5 different times so far, and I have to keep them for another day, because I'm actually doing a small presentation on the art of tattooing, which is yet another thing. Like, yeah, sure, you can do realistic tattoos, but there's also a lot of tattoos that are like different styles, like Art Deco, or I don't know, just something fun. Like, I feel like if I do actually want to go down the tattoo artist pathway, I don't know if I do, but if I do decide that I want to do that, then I want to be able to do more stylized stuff like this. Like, this is still slightly realistic, you know, with the petals and the leaves and such, but I want to be able to do more stylized things and translate this style into other subjects that, you know, aren't flowers, because I can't only confidently draw flowers. But you know what, I drew this owl, so I think I did a good job. Like, I'm slowly getting better at doing things like that, because I think I'm keeping an air of realism, but I'm also adding like more generalized lines and such to my style. It's very tricky to define your own style, because it's like, I don't know, I just do these things because it's fun, or it's pretty, or I don't know, because I like the way it looks. But I don't know, it's very difficult for me to define any art style, because it's just like, I don't know, you have some similarities in some of the lines, and that's about it. I don't know. But yeah, I'm doing a presentation on how tattooing works, and it's honestly a very interesting process. These are not actual tattoos. I just straight up got a pen, this pen, and drew on myself because I was bored and had nothing else to do. Actually, I had this to do, but I didn't want to do this, and I wanted to save it for stream. And okay, you know, technically I have homework from my classes, but I don't want to do that. I want to draw flowers on myself because that's cool. But the process of tattooing is very interesting, because from my spontaneous one day of research, I learned things, and I don't know, I just think that's fun. Like, it goes through 5 layers of skin. I think it's the epidermis. Yeah, I think so. I did this a couple days ago. You can't blame me. I mean, I am gonna have to talk about it tomorrow, so maybe I should refresh that on my head, but it's fine. But like, the fact that it goes through multiple layers of your epidermis and then deposits ink into the dermis of your skin, which is, it doesn't renew as often because it doesn't need to. It doesn't flake like, you know, the epidermis or the outside of your skin. Like, it doesn't flake very much. It doesn't need to restore itself as often. So it's stronger and it holds the ink better, which is why they do that. And the fact that it's just, the tattoo gun just stabs you a bunch of times and then you get color in your skin, like, I just think that's awesome. Considering the fact that being a tattoo artist is one of my potential career paths, and I'm afraid of needles to an extent, maybe it isn't for me, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with it and we'll see where it takes me. Oh, sorry, that was loud. That spooked me. Sorry. Whew, alright. But yeah, anyway, tattooing is really cool. And yeah. Honestly, this presentation that I'm doing on it, I wasn't technically supposed to do it yet. I was supposed to do it closer to the, like, end of April, early May. But I drew these on myself. So I went, I want to show these off to people. These kind of looked like tattoos. I'm gonna do some spontaneous research. And then I realized, like, I was gonna do it yesterday, and then I realized I have no, like, product to show, because the assignment is, like, you do a product about the thing, and then you present about it, you know, and I had no product, so I went, I'm gonna do a bunch of research and just create an infographic. So I just created an infographic in, like, 40 minutes today, and I have this, and so I'm just gonna go off on a bunch of different tangents about tattooing tomorrow. And it doesn't matter if I say anything that's correct, because nobody's gonna know what I'm nobody's gonna know what the right thing is. So I can kind of just say whatever, but I am gonna research and, like, do some refreshing on my memory. But yeah, it was very spontaneous. It's like, I'm done now. Can I present? My instructor is like, oh yeah, totally, whatever. Less things to grade at the end of the term. And so I'm just gonna be presenting tomorrow, and it's great. I don't have to worry about it at the end of the term anymore. And after my tangents, I only have this little section of mountain left. So I guess tangents do help. Woo! Woo! Just saw an old man bicycling. That was fun. It was like the old man was gonna fall over. Oh well. Hope you don't fall over, old man. Have fun with your bicycle. Oh gosh. I always get so nervous at edges because I'm very rough. And as you can see, this edge is a little bit wonky, and the corners are all rolled up and such. So yeah, I'm a bit rough. I probably shouldn't be, but all of my edges are kind of a little bit wrinkled. Again, I do really like the texture that it gives after it's blended, but yeah, I can't really blend it anymore, and this is it's gonna be how it is. But I mean, the texture's kind of nice. It kind of actually looks like rocks in a way. It looks much more like sedimentary rocks, or like snow had fallen on it and it's eroded it in such a pattern, or I don't know, just texture. Fun times though. So I think I like this. I think I like this. I like all of the lines. It's kind of busy, but you know what? I can vibe with that. And I want to do like little patches of trees. I'm not entirely sure how to do this. I'm going to avoid these two tops because I don't know, trees don't live up that high. I mean, they probably do, but not very often. It's just harder to survive up there. And I think I'm going to start from the bottom and kind of just do a bunch of little lines and just kind of work my way up. And then it will kind of look like the trees are spreading from the bottom up, which I always think that's a good plan. So yeah, I'm gonna have way more on the bottom, and then I'm gonna have it slowly like reach up. So, and I think that looks pretty good, or at least it kind of does when you when it actually shows up. But I'm liking that. And then we'll do like slightly less up here, and we're gonna follow these basic like lines, and I'm gonna do a little bit in that little cove right there, and then do a couple up here, but you know, trees have a harder time living up there. And also, if it ever snows on these mountains, it probably does because this is a coniferous forest and they're usually found in North America. When it snows, the snow will slowly melt and the water will trickle down, and more of it will be at the bottom than there will be at the top. I don't know, just cool nature things. I think that's how it works, at least. Again, I'm not really a science major, so. But I'm liking how this looks. I think it's pretty cool. I'm genuinely not, I don't really know how I'm doing this or what I'm doing, but that's how life goes. So I'm just rolling with it and seeing where it takes me. Woo! Motto of life, baby. Roll with it. And since these ones are very stretched out, I kind of want to do that. And I think I'm going to add 2 different layers of green. So after I finish adding this one in, I think I'm going to add either a lighter or a darker. I kind of like how just this is by itself, but I do want to add some variation at least. But I'm liking that. I might actually, hold up, I want to see how this looks. And that kind of gets rid of some of the texture, but I mean, I'll go over it a little bit. It just kind of makes it, I guess, it's blending it, so I guess it makes it blend better. Just remove some of the little white spots in it, but overall the green is still there, so. And then, yeah, so I think with this, I want to, I think a darker one. Honestly, this might work as the darker one, and then I might add something like this in, and do just a little bit of glider patches, like that. It kind of looks like there's, you know, actual green patches on here instead of just trees and rocks. I think that's nice. Okay. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So I think now we can start working on the sky. This is wild because we have this much to fill up. You know, all of this white space needs to be sky. It might have been smart for me to start with a blue paper, but that's not what I did. So we're gonna add the sky on top of the white paper. We're gonna do something sort of like this. It's kind of a gradient from purple, blue to black, but I think I want to do the purple up here and the black down here because the moon's up here. I don't know. Purple's pretty. So we'll do purple up here, and also the moth is kind of like greenish yellow, and purple complements yellow. So I don't know. Lots of complementary colors here. I think the only like color I'm not gonna have on here is gonna be like, you know, straight up yellow. Like this has a yellow tint, but it's honestly more of a cream. So I think the only color I'm not gonna have on here is red. Like, straight up, I don't think red's gonna be on here. And I'm fine with that, because this is my favorite red, and compared to my favorite blue, they're about the same length. So the blue's gonna be much shorter by the end of today, but I'm glad that I don't really have to use red, because I've already used that red quite a lot. And by using it, I mean that's one of the ones that kept breaking on me. So whenever I tried to use it, it would just be very mean to me. But I did use it quite a lot, so I don't blame it. So I think already these two colored pencils have such a height difference. Like, the black is already so much longer. Like, that's the ends compared, so this white is gonna be gone by the end of the day. But I think, actually, I did notice this earlier, I just kind of forgot about it. This white, like, V bit on the top, it's much less pronounced on the reference image, so I think I want to go back in and add just a little bit more brown, specifically closer to the beak, because then it kind of, luckily you can add color over paint. I learned that, and I was very thankful, because usually once you blend something with the blending pencil, not the white is fine, but once you blend something with the blending pencil, it kind of smooths it all together, but in return you can't really add anything over it. Or if you can, it's very difficult. So I'm glad that I can color over the white paint, because I added quite a bit. And I mean, rightfully so. I mean, it looks pretty cool, I think. Honestly, I do really like the way that these feathers are pronounced. It makes me happy. I'm not sure if it does anyone else, but it's my creation, and I'm very happy with it, so. Okay. Sky time. So, we got out blue and the purple, I think. That's, yeah, cool. We have the blue and the purple. And I might actually... That's in the wrong place. Okay, cool. We have a ultramarine that's kind of similar. I mean, it's much more, like, vibrant. So we might use that to blend between these two. I'm just very nervous. Like, I don't want to start, but I know I have to. Should I start from the bottom or the top? I'm thinking bottom, but that's probably the easier one because I just did the mountains. Just work from the bottom up. Could be good. Cool. Okay. So if I'm doing a black on the bottom, I think I just want to go over all of, like, this section with the space blue. Whoop. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try to be much more careful with this because these colors are a lot darker than the surrounding ones, so if I go over and then I blend it over, it could be bad. Again, I might have had an easier time if I had started on blue paper, but again, that's not what I did, so we're stuck with this, and I'm fine with it, honestly. I think it's looking cool, and I think I'll be able to pull it off, so. I hate the edges. It's terrible. Like, I want to go fast. I want to scribble, and you guys mess me up. Stupid edges. Oh well. It's worth coloring them. Okay. Halfway done. I'm kind of liking that, honestly. Even just the blue. I'm definitely not going to be using just the blue because it would not blend well. And this poor white needs a break. I mean, I'm going to be using it anyway because it looks really pretty, but... filling in a space is very, just very satisfying overall. Okay, so I have that bit done now. Okay, cool. So I think I want the purple to go from the top to about here, and then I want the blue to go from the bottom of the purple to about here, maybe like the top of that leaf. And then I want the black, or at least the darker blue from the black, like the black shading, to be from like here down. So I think that could look nice. So we're gonna do this bit first. Got slightly shadowed now, and then I just gotta carry that over. So I think right there should be good. Cool. Honestly, I haven't used the black very much. I've kind of just used it for creating grays. I'm not very good at using deep, dark colors. Like, I can do dark greens and, like, dark browns. Like, I can do dark colors, but I'm not going to be doing dark shades. That's one of my weaknesses, is whenever I do black and white, I end up doing just really light shades. Like, I physically cannot press down fully on that black. Like, if anything, I'm gonna press down fully on the black and then blend it with white so that it's lighter. That's what I always end up doing. In fact, for the project that I'm working on with these, I was originally doing a field, and I mean, I think it would have looked good, but I went, I'm getting bored and this isn't fun, so I abandoned it, and instead I'm doing a self-portrait, which I'm not gonna be showing on a stream, but I think I'm also gonna get bored of that. I'm honestly not having a good time with these black and white things we're supposed to be doing for a class, but I mean, I have to deal with it, so like, I'll get through it, and I'll do other things to keep me sane, like cross-stitch and finish this competition bird, but ooh, I'm kind of liking that. Like, I think that looks really pretty. I know it's such a small triangle, but I like it. And I mean, the sky is gonna have kind of a texture as well because I can't blend fully. Just because, like, the lines and such, but that's why I did it horizontally, so that if it does look like it, it just kind of looks like, I don't know, different shades of clouds or something, or light reflecting off. I don't know, this is why little planning and happy accidents just really make the art, you know? I'm liking that. It's kind of, it's just like a little bit darker. Like, it just kind of a little bit of a shade. I like that. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And it's still kind of bright for the whole vibe of the piece. Okay, cool. I like that. Okay, cool. Hey, Stasis, do you know where, like, Telby and Manic are? You should tell him to pop in, because I'm liking this owl, and I want to show him before it gets done, because it's the last time it's going to be on stream. I'm liking this, though. I'm really liking this. Oh, no. The white is getting dull again. Oh, geez. Okay, out back comes the sharpener. Luckily, this sharpener is at least pretty good, so I can, I don't know, sharpen it for 2 seconds and have lead again. was some more black on the other side. We're gonna do this really quick. Oh god, this is why I don't like edges. Okay, cool. It's fine. We can ignore it. I'm too hasty for my own good. It's fine. There. Cool. I'm liking this. Honestly, if I had more energy, I'd add some clouds to it, but I don't think I have that energy. And also, clouds are, stereotypically white. And I don't want to get the paint back out, even though I'm going to be doing that for stars anyway. I mean, if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be stars rather than clouds. But I'm liking this. I'm liking this. I think it's pretty cool. I definitely don't think that this color for the sky is the perfect color for when the moon is very high in the sky in this picture. I don't think it's the right sky, but you know what? I don't care, and I am an artist. I can do whatever I want with my art. That's just an excuse to say I don't know how to do lighting, and I don't want to. This poor colored pencil. In order to blend anything, I have to press down so hard. And look, it's already dull again. Oh well. Woo! I'm liking that. I think it's pretty cool, at least. I might add a little bit more black to the bottom. On camera, it looks a lot more blue than it actually is, but we're rolling with it. Like, it looks a lot more gray in real life. It kind of looks like similar to the mountains, but I think I am going to add more black to the bottom here. Kind of gradient upwards. That's very little black, but you know what? It's fine. I mean, you don't need very much black to make the color change, so. And I don't know, it kind of looks like stormy clouds over the thing. The mountain. Mountain's the word. I totally forgot the word for mountain. Dude, this thing is just caked. Like, there's just so much white that went into blending this. Like, I used white to blend some of the owl. I used a blending pencil to blend the leaves, or like the pine needles, and then I used white to blend in the gray on the mountains. Like, it's a lot. Luckily, I think we'll be able to complete this in about 30 more minutes. If I'm slow. I might actually get a chance to work on my cross stitch today, so that will be fun. Get started on a new project, maybe. I have this really cool idea for a, like, wait, was I gonna have the black go up to here? Am I a fool? I might be a fool. Oh well, we're vibing. So anyway, I have this cool idea for a space jellyfish. A friend actually requested it of me, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I totally want to do that. And so I still haven't done it, and that was like a couple months ago. But yeah, space jellyfishes, those are always cool. And it would be another one in colored pencil, but I do think this is a good place to do it because it's a project that I would not have the motivation to do if I did not pressure myself into doing it. So I think this would be a good place to do it. And I already have some sketches and a little bit of a color palette laid out in my head. So I wonder if I have the sketches in this notebook. No, I don't. I just remembered that they're in a different one. I'm glad I didn't spend 10 minutes searching through that just to not find them. But yeah, it's a cool idea. Space jellyfishes, really big one. Maybe a spaceship in the background or something. Although I'm not too good at like geometric type things. I mean, as you can see from this entire thing, it's all organic. So I don't know, I'm much better at organic things. And I mean, these flowers on my arm are very much, you know, flowers, organics. I don't know. Flowers are definitely one of my favorite things to just sketch out. And they're kind of relaxing too, because I already know how to do them. Or at least to an extent, you know. Okay, so I have two more tiny sections laid out. Let's do the bottom one first. Gotta continue the tradition of blending from the bottom up, or at least kind of. This one is looking a lot more blue, but I'm fine with that. Like I expected that this would be a lot more blue. But I can carry the black upward into it and kind of blend it out. That's what I was planning to do, and then I totally forgot. So here we are. I'm hoping that the blue does complement the... Manic, you weren't first. Stasis was here first, but I appreciate you being here. I hope that the blue complements the orange like I think it will. I'm liking it though, I'm liking it. Manic, have you seen this? I think it's going quite well. I did some mountains. This is a little bit more blue on camera than it is, but wonderful, lovely. But yes, I have almost completed it. And about 3 weeks ahead of the due date, so that's a first. Yeah, I'm gonna I have a little sketch right here. It's turning all sorts of ways. The mountains on here turned out a bit darker, but I kind of gradiented it from purple to black. It has been a journey. It's been a whole process to get this thing down. And the process has basically been me going, I don't know what I want to do. So we turned out with this. But yeah, I just gotta blend. I'm going from like a black to a more purplish, or not black, but a grayish blue, because I blended the black that I have into the blue that I have. But we're going from a slight, like a gray to a blue to a purpler blue and then a purple. So that's gonna be fun. I'm not sure if I'm putting too much detail into the sky, but it sure is a lot easier to blend 4 colors than it is to blend 1. Because trust me, I have blended 1 color for a sky before, and that's how this colored pencil turned out this short. So I'm not doing that again. Okay. There it is. And honestly, I need to start keeping like a tally chart or whatever of how many times I sharpen the white colored pencil, because I sharpened it at least 5 times this stream. Like, at least. Because I blended all of the mountains. And then I'm gonna blend all of the sky. Hey, Rothwella. You're the second person to have said first. And yet you are third. I'm glad you're just kidding. But it's great to have you here. But I mean, it's looking pretty fancy. I don't think the sky is the right color to have a moon in it. But do I care? Not really. We're having a good time here. Yeah. Oh, okay, understandable. It sometimes Twitch is silly. Ah, edges. Cool. Alright, I need to soften up this line a bit more. But other than that, I think it's going good. Oh, Telby's at volleyball. I didn't even know he played volleyball. Well, tell him to have a good time playing volleyball and tell him to watch the VOD later because this is going good. Maybe I'll just like send him a picture later. Because I think this is gonna turn out pretty well. And I mean, hopefully it'll turn out well because it's for a competition. But you know what? It's good. Ooh, that's a bit darker than I intended. Oh well. What? Telby! Telby is the bad influence of things you should not consume while doing other things. Like, he's the reason why I put up the warning, do not eat art supplies. Because you should not eat art supplies. And yet Telby thinks to seem... he seems to think otherwise. And now he's drinking while playing volleyball? Like, excuse me, Telby. I'll have to scold him next time I see him. What if it's macaroni art? Well, that's the thing, is you can eat macaroni art, but only the macaroni portion. And it's gonna be kind of, unpleasant, because it is, you know, uncooked pasta. But I would not recommend eating the glue, or the glitter, or anything else that comes with the macaroni art. Just the macaroni bit. And I'd recommend eating that after it's cooked. So, macaroni art is an exception, though. Like, just a little bit of a one. Maybe we can tell Toby that, and we can all, like, meet up sometime, or I can do a macaroni art stream. Maybe I'll do a macaroni art stream, and I'll have everyone also do their macaroni art, and then we can post it. Yeah, glue is technically edible, but I don't recommend eating it because it does have other chemicals in it, besides the, you know, horse hooves, but whatever. And Manic, I'm sorry that you had to learn the hard way to not cook the pasta before putting it on the paper, because that would just make the paper soggy. Community art stream could be fun, yeah. I mean, I wonder if I could do, like, a stream where I just try to speedrun a bunch of, like, really small pictures or something, and I just have people recommend things to me, and then I could, like, ship them out to them or something. Like, that could be fun. I think that could be really cool. Kind of like my, my bookmarks that I made in my first stream, like this one. Like, I really like that one. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm using my other one right now, so I can't show it, but I really like this, this small bookmark. I did this with watercolor too, and I'm not very proficient at watercolor. So maybe I could do something like that and do little gifts for people or something. Hear me out though. What if it, you know, it's March, so this is very far out, but what if I did that around Christmas and I did a bunch of things and I donated them? I think that could be really cool. I mean, maybe I could do that as... Oh, yes, it is a verb! Hi, Iron Rose! It's a great burp, honestly. It's a little flammulated owl. I think the owl is about the size of the drawing here. So I think 6 inches max. It's so small, which is why I said I'm drawing a tiny owl. And it's great. It's for a competition, so this should be fun. It's also interesting because I'm actually entering into this competition for my own. It's my own choice to. I'm not actually being forced to by my teacher, so. Because on a couple of occasions, my teacher's like, we got entered into this art competition. I'm like, I don't want to. And then we do anyway, because I'm supposed to, and I get a grade for it. We also got a moth here. I think the moth is pretty cool, too. Fun fact, this moth is actually what this burb eats. Burb hasn't seen moth yet, which is why it's still alive. But we're vibing here. I have to be so careful and not getting this purple into the moth. It's a process. I think, actually, yeah, let's do a little bit of this. And I think we're gonna try blending that just to see how it looks. Ooh, vote in the Ooh, maybe, hear me out. If I can unlock the community channel points or whatever, I could make a thing where it's like, if you collect enough channel points, you could say, draw this. And then I'll do a small drawing of it or whatever. I think that could be pretty cool. And then I could also do, I think, polls that way. I think they unlock at the same time, but I don't have enough things or resources to do that yet. But I'm kind of liking how this is going. It's slowly getting more purple. I know it looks really bright blue on screen, but it looks much more toned down in real life. Maybe I will post a picture later on Instagram or something of the actual thing, but yeah, so yeah, I'm hoping to do some fun stuff if I ever unlock the channel points, because those are my favorite things on other streams. One of my favorite streamers has an OO voice, so you have to do 50,000 gubbins to do the OO voice, and then she switches from her her normal, very sarcastic voice to an OO voice for about 5 minutes, and it's very fun. She's had to disable it many times because people kept spamming the button. So I think doing something, or like, I could do some fun things with the channel points. Especially since this is an art stream. Art times. Also, one thing that I just thought of again. Have I ever shown off my frog eyeball earrings? Because these things are amazing and I love them. It's literal frog eyeballs that I got by helping the little small people with frog dissections. And I have frog eyeballs sitting in alcohol in tiny little jars that I'm gonna make into earrings, and I absolutely love them. An OO voice? OO! It's super duper high pitched. I'm very bad at the OO voice. It's basically just a higher pitched version, and it's like a, I don't know. It's very small and like cute. Lots of people will use it to annoy people, so that's always fun. Do moon. Yeah. But cool. But yes, I love my frog eyeball earrings. Love them, dear to my heart. No, it's just kind of like a meme thing. It's like the it's like uwu or owo, like the like that. It's basically just that in voice form because people are silly. I'm, um, her name is Cleo, so it's the Cleo voice. It's great. She even has a little icon at the bottom that bounces and does things, so it's great, yeah. So it's basically just a meme, Manic. Yeah, Manic, we know you know this. Okay, actually, that's valid. I hadn't either until I watched her stream. So, I don't blame you. I'm glad that I could explain it. You know what? Maybe you are, but I can't say for sure because I think you still have a pretty young heart. Unlike Telby. I called Telby old because Telby is old. But Telby isn't here to hear me say that because he's at volleyball drinking. I'm glad I could help you learn something, Manic. Also, Manic, have you tried the lemon Oreos yet? I'm waiting patiently for an answer. Okay, yeah, I know that you're older than Telby, but Telby can just be a troll sometimes. And yes, if you need to try those lemon Oreos, Manic. They're great. They're great, Manic. I'm gonna keep bothering you until you try them, Manic. Okay, I've finally covered this entire page with at least some sort of colored pencil. Manic, try the lemon Oreos. Good. Hey Rothwell, you need to make sure he tries the lemon Oreos soon. But anyway, I've covered the entire thing in some sort of lead. Some sort of colored pencil. Again, this is very bright. It's a bit more toned down, and I think I will take a picture and post it, so. I know that Telby is 5 years younger than you guys, but he is, he's a lot, considering the fact that I had to make a warning specifically for him, because he kept trying to do things with art supplies that he shouldn't. So, okay. I'm gonna add the purple now, because why not? Gotta add the purple. I hope this turns out well. I genuinely haven't tested this to a super extent. I've only done that little bit, so. Thanks, Manic. I'm glad you like it. Just a bit more to go, and if I do finish a bit early, I will keep working on one of my embroidery projects, because I've been doing that one just in my spare time, and hopefully I can show that in an art show. I'm not sure yet, because it's not, 2D, it's a completely different medium than I've been working on in my classes, but I don't know, I can ask. I mean, I should be able to. I mean, I have frames for it and everything, so. Oh yeah, look at my tattoos! They're not actually tattoos. I just straight up got a pen and drew on myself. So, that's fun. I talked about this a bit earlier, but I am going to do a small presentation tomorrow on tattoos and such, like the process of it. It's a pretty small presentation, but I straight up, I did this and went, I could present this. And now I'm going to get a grade early and not have to worry about it at the end of the term. And then I also did that one. So that one's, upside down. And I drew it upside down as well. So that was a process. But they were very fun to make. And I've been touching them up for about 4 days now, because I need to keep them good until tomorrow, so that I can show them off to people and show that I actually did do something. Thank you. I'm very glad that it looks real. I was also talking about this a little bit earlier with the tattoos, but they aren't super realistic, but they are slightly stylized, and it's very hard to, or at least for me, to try to define a style, or my style, because I keep the realism, kind of like this owl. I keep the realism, but I kind of make it... I don't know. I make it more like fluffy, slightly over-exaggerated, I guess? I'm not sure. But also this bird isn't very over-exaggerated. Like, the reference picture looks more over-exaggerated than this. But I really do enjoy making flowers, and I think the only, like, confident thing I am, you know, the only thing that I am confident in drawing is flowers. And it is flowers like this. So... but I'm just not sure how to transfer that style over to something like, you know, humans, because flowers are very different than humans. Okay. Again, the white is dull. I feel like this always happens, and I feel like the camera is picking up all of this blue very differently than it is in real life. So I'm definitely gonna be posting a picture of this later on my Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on that, you can go do that. It's linked somewhere on my Twitch page. I'm pretty sure I put it somewhere. I think I also linked a YouTube channel, but I literally haven't posted on that at all. So if you want to go on an adventure and find those, you might also find where I get my music. I know I've done some things on my channel tabs, but can't remember. So have fun exploring that if you want to. Ooh, okay, cool. We're actually getting into the purple bits now, which is interesting. I do think I want to add a little bit more though, so. Okay, cool. More blending. This entire stream is just gonna be me blending. I mean, it has been so far, like literally everything from here to here. So literally the entire page has been blended in one way or another, except for maybe some of these things on the owl, because I need texture. But I'm pretty sure everything on here has been blended. It looks pretty, in my defense. I wouldn't blend a heart in food-wise blender or this, because it would hurt. And yeah, I don't know. I think the sky definitely looks better. Just wait, oh gosh. Yep, I'm not exactly sure what this reference is, but I'm sure I'll learn about it eventually. Oop, okay, cool. Edge is my worst enemy. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay, cool. I think I got that edge done. I think this edge and this edge are completely done. Have I seen the music video? Because I genuinely don't remember many things, specifically music videos. I just kind of listen to music. You might be talking to Manic, I'm not sure. Okay, I need to be very careful around this moth, and in fact, I think this is about the 8th time that I have sharpened this stream. Could be more, I genuinely don't know at this point. And I do think on the next color pencil project I'm gonna have a tally chart on how many times I sharpen the blending pencil. But That means that I can very carefully blend around this moth's little antennae. Okay, cool. I definitely don't remember it then, but you can show it to me later, okay? But I think you can see the moth so much better now that it isn't on white. It's great. I think I'm gonna keep it upside down for now because I want to finish this. This purple isn't dark enough. It's Eve's. Okay, yeah, that explains it. Okay. Yep, okay, cool. I understand it now. Or at least kind of. Still don't remember it, but cool, more purple. Okay, awesome. It's a lot of purple. This is a lot of blending too. I'm slowly getting there. Ever so slowly. Okay, corner. This is the only corner that I haven't done. I've done all the other corners. I just haven't done this one. The corners are the worst. Edges are the second worst. I'm liking the slightly more purple one now that I've added the more of the you know, colored pencil. Forgot the word there. Doors and corners. Yep, doors and corners. That's where I've got ya. Hi. Hi, Andy. You wanna say hi to people? Too bad, you're gonna. Kitten! I have a kitten here. Come on, Indy. What you doing? Come on, get out of the camera, hon. Okay, cool. Indy. Okay. Hi there. Love you. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, great. Owl time. Manic, you need to watch Expanse. Cat tax. Okay, corner. Almost done. Indy interrupted me from my corner. Okay, so close. So close. Corners make me squeaky. Okay, cool. I think I've got that corner done. I think. I might have to come back to it, but I hope not. Okay, so again, this looks very blue on camera. However, this bit is more purple and this bit is more gray. Okay, Manic. If it's so boring, then you just haven't gotten to the actual show yet, okay? If you have watched the first 2 episodes, that does not count. You need to make it at least halfway through the season. And I know that's a lot, but trust me, it is worth it, okay? The Expanse is very good. And it gets so good. It gets so good. It has made me want to read the book series that comes after the show. Or, I mean, the book series technically came before, but the book series continues the show, I should say. Like, I don't read very much. I went to the library yesterday and got 6 graphic novels. Actually, no, 4 graphic novels, 2 poetry books. But that's literally all I read. Like, I don't read much, and I was considering reading... Okay, fine, I'll talk more about the owl. This owl is very cute and it's very small and it's great. I'll stop talking about Expanse and I'll continue the owl because I'm almost done. I only have this bit of sky left and then it's great. Come on, almost done. We're literally so close, please. And then I just need to oh gosh, I forgot about the moon. Okay, so we also have the moon to finish, but the moon is very small compared to the sky. So I think we're good on that front, so. Okay. Oh, my arm is starting to hurt. I've pushed so hard on this with this white pencil. Oh. Okay. At this point, I am so impatient. Please, sir, I want to be done with the sky. Okay. Sharpening again. Sharpening again. I need a sharpener song. That happens a lot. I wonder... I'm gonna blend this in, and then I'm basically gonna cover the entire thing. Yeah. Apparently the Expanse just triggers Manic, so we're not gonna... In fact, I'm gonna mention it one time every stream until you watch it, Manic. But I've already used that one time for today. Okay. I have a blue ring around the moon, but I don't really care. So we're going to finish blending this. Oh, that spooked me. Okay. Blend the sky. Blend the sky. Blending the sky does not spook. If you cannot tell, I get spooked very easily. Yeah, I'm gonna be the one to bring it up, Manic. Okay. One last look over. See if we need to do anything. Just like a little bit that I still would like to be blended. I might do some final touch-ups off screen just before I do the white for the stars, but I think this is pretty good. You can kind of still see the lines, but I'm kind of liking it. I do think that around here needs more blending though. I might also need to add in more pigment, but I mean, I just kind of switched direction on the way that I was doing them, so. Wait, if I... Oh my god. Okay, cool. So on the bits that look more like veiny, I guess, I was just blending the opposite way. So I'm gonna do that in some areas, but I am not going over this entire thing again. So I'm just doing it kind of down here and like a little bit up here because it's very line. There is much line to be had. Okay. So I think this is how it's going so far. I think. And I think I'm actually just going to finish the moon off camera. But, yeah. So if I finish the moon off camera, I'll probably add the white paint so that it actually looks like a moon. And then I can go over the white paint and add little tiny like craters. And then I can add like little stars in, maybe. I'll probably do that. And then I will post a picture. And I will send it to you peoples who are interested. So, I'm liking this. I'm not going to sign it just yet. because I do that when I'm finished. But I am very determined to either finish this today or tomorrow. So I will definitely update you guys. I'll probably show this off next stream if I can. I might have already sent it off to the competition by then, but I will definitely, maybe I'll show the picture on the side if I don't have any reference pictures I need to show next stream. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to finish the moon, do some stars, and sign it, I guess. Yeah, cool. I'll do that off camera because I really don't want to do paint right now. But I'm just gonna leave that right there because I don't really need to do. I don't need to move it for embroidery. So I'm gonna grab some of the stuff because I have a couple colors I'm already working with, and I can explain one of my projects to you guys, which I think is gonna be fun. So, I gotta grab things. And they are everywhere. But, oh gosh, why did I choose so many colors of thread? Okay, so, thread. And, if any of you guys have ever played Stardew Valley, you will understand what I am making. However, if you haven't, I will explain. Stardew Valley is a farming simulator. It also has a story. The story is very good. If you have not played it, I recommend you try it, because it's very fun. And it also has pretty ladies. 3 of these pretty ladies, I am cross-stitching. I feel like that was a good segue. So these 2, for some reason the graph paper that I have has 2 different size boxes. So these 2 pretty ladies and then this one on the back are completely different sizes. So, luckily that does not matter, but I have those, and then I have 2 finished. So I have Maru right here, and I think I did a stellar job on her. I don't often use that adjective, but I think I did amazing. And then I have Penny on this side. Penny, I did less good at it, but she's vibing. So, ooh, I have that, and I'm working on Leah currently. And as you can see, it's very, it's a blob right now. But, I've finished all of the, like, individual colors other than white that have, like, small amounts. So I only have these ones left. And I'm doing Leah. So I'm actually straight up just gonna put them on here. And then I can... Okay, cool. I'll just have the owl peeking out from underneath because I don't actually need much. Let me just say, there was this whole thing where I did this huge part of hair and then I went, I don't like that. So I seam ripped it all out. Now that might seem harsh, but the breaking point was one of the threads that I was using. I've since thrown it away, but I was using a thread, and when I pulled on it too hard, it snapped in half. And by pulling on it too hard was literally a minuscule amount. So I had to take all of that out, and I had to rework my entire palette again. So, and my entire palette, I just mean these 5 browns. I don't know. It was just really annoying, and I didn't enjoy it. However, we're here now, and I have it kind of sorted out. So, I'm gonna start. And I only have a small section of these really light oranges, and I just want to finish that. It's basically lightest to darkest at this point. There is this brighter orange, which is going to be the brightest one, just for fun. I've just been kind of doing this one in my off time. Like, I've been bringing it to some of my classes and doing it when I get bored. But this week I've been very preoccupied with my fake tattoos. So, haven't gotten a chance to work on it much this week. But last week was very fun because I did the whole seam rip thing. And I'll sometimes work on it while watching shows or something. So it's just a like fun little side project. And hopefully if I I'm going to finish these three lads, these three gals, by the time of my class's art show, but I will definitely be putting these three up there, and I have a frame for them already. So I actually got the frame first and went, what can I make from this? And I already had one of the Stardew girls in my collection of perler beads, so I just ironed her, and then went, I'm gonna make 3 more, because the frame has 3 sections, and so I measured everything and went, oh, okay, so a 2x2 section of X's will work well. So that just happened, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I've been working on this. I finished about 1 per month. So I did this one I finished in late January. This one I finished mid-February, and this one I'm gonna finish late March. So I've been wanting to do this project for much longer, but it's only recently come into actual reality, you know. Dude, it's so precise. Like, I understand why people don't have the patience for this. I just apparently have enough patience for specifically this that I can do an entire section of hair and then seam rip it. So, I don't know what that says about me, but I'm gonna roll with it. Because if anything, it's probably true, so. Honestly, cross-stitching is so much easier than embroidery, because cross-stitching, you get a special fabric and it already has the holes for you, or at least kind of where the holes are, and you just have to put the thing through. It's great. Honestly, love it. It's also very, like, methodical, where you know exactly where you're gonna go and it doesn't require as much concentration. But with embroidery, you have to draw out what you're doing, which isn't a problem for me. But I also have no clue how to do any embroidery stitches. I literally know how to do straight lines. So whenever I try to embroider, it just turns out looking like kind of cruddy, because it's using only straight lines and not even any embroidery stitches. But honestly, it's one of my more favorite mediums to work with, because it's fun. Hey, you know, maybe we can team up someday and you can do the embroidery bits and I can do the cross stitch, and we can do like a fun little project or something. I think that could be cool. I know that there's some, apparently an old lady told me this. I was actually doing this in one of my classes, and I had a substitute, and the old lady went, oh, are you doing some counted cross stitch? And I'm like, I didn't know what counted cross stitch was. Apparently it's just the X's. Fun fact, you can do things other than X's. I didn't know that. So if you do things other than X's, there is such a thing as non-counted cross stitch. I don't know what it's called, really, but you can do little lines that kind of go off of it, and it's wild. I will not be trying this because cross stitch is my way to not handle it, to not do embroidery, and I feel like doing embroidery with the cross stitch is not a good game plan, you know. Sometimes the thread does decide to knot up like it is doing right now. I would love it if it didn't do that, but you know what? Roll with it. That's apparently my motto for life, or at least my art. It's, if you have a problem, you have to roll with it, because you're not going to be solving it anytime soon. Minnick, I literally said, yes, it's Stardew Valley. I have Leah, I have Maru, and I have Penny. I'm doing all 3. And hopefully if I get another frame at some point. Oh, he was away. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I finished the owl. This is what the owl looks like. I'm gonna do the moon and maybe some stars off camera, because I'm going to do that with white paint, and I really don't want to do that right now. But I'm going to do that off camera. So right now I'm just gonna be working on one of my embroidery projects, which right now is Leah from Stardew Valley. It's great. I'm very happy with it. So I think, yeah, cool. I think one of the most frustrating parts with cross-stitching is I always cut just not enough thread. So I use it in, with embroidery thread, there is always, or at least in the stuff that I've used, there's always been 6 threads in like the little, string. And I take 2 of them and I use that because it's just easiest for me, and I also get 3 uses out of 1 piece. And so I can do that, and I always manage to cut it slightly too short. Like always. And so I always sit here struggling because I have just not enough yarn, but I only have like 2 more X's to go, and I just need to finish the 2 X's. So I end up like putting the needle halfway in and then threading the thread through, just so that I can get it through like multiple times in a row. It's frustrating, but I gotta persevere. Oh. Embroidery is like, it's very fun, or at least fun for me, because it yeah. Cross-stitching, embroidery, so different, but I want to try more on embroidery. Cross-stitches, it's one of my, I think it is the favorite of mine that isn't like 2D art, or I mean, I guess this is 2D, but it's thread, so, but like on paper art, I have a lot of mediums on that, and none are particularly my favorite. But cross-stitch, it's a nice break from all of that, so I end up doing a lot more cross-stitching than I do anything else, because I kind of work on a project that's 2D, like a 2D art medium on paper, and then I end up doing a cross-stitch project, and then I go back and forth. But with the 2D like art on paper, I do a bunch of different mediums. So I'll, like, maybe one time I'll do like a colored pencil like this, or I will do, and then I'll do a cross stitch, and then maybe I'll do an oil pastel, and then I'll do another cross stitch. Like, I end up doing a lot more cross stitch than anything else, just because it's my break medium. Like, it's just kind of there to keep me sane while doing all of the other art stuff. You know, it's kind of nice though in that way. And also, I don't have to particularly design anything. Like, I didn't come up with Leah's character design. I just translated the colors onto the paper and into the thread. And luckily, I didn't have to go pick out the thread either, because I just kind of stole a bit of thread from my mom, and my mom wasn't using it, so I've had this for a bit, and I've just started using it. It's kind of nice though. I just have a bunch of different colors. At one point, a family member decided to give me a box of embroidery thread. Okay, well, in my defense, I did kind of ask, and she said sure, so I use steel very lightly, as in I took it because she was not using it, and she said, I don't really care. Why? Hello? Sir, why is one of you shorter than the other? Is that where the knot came from? Okay, cool. Fun times. This is great for my mental health. Oh, jeez. Alright, cool. I don't even remember what I was talking about before, but yeah, cross stitching is relaxing, and it's my way of unwinding, I guess. Because I do really like using like paints and colored pencils and all of these different fun mediums on a 2D surface. But the thing is that in all of my classes, it's very much A, realistic art, and B, Manic, you can't just throw away a cross stitch because one thing goes wrong. Because when I do an entire section of hair, I seam rip it all out so that I don't have to redo the entire body. But honestly, yeah, that's valid. There was this. Okay, now I remember like 5 different things I was talking about. First of all, I don't think that many people have experienced the same pain of knots that I have, to an extent, because I wasn't dealing with thread, okay? I was dealing with a yarn ball. And this yarn ball, I, again, stole from my mother because she wasn't using it and she said I could have it. So I took this yarn ball, and I was basically on a mind-numbing yarn ball rolling spree. So this yarn ball was, it was in, like, a sort of, like, ovular shape, kind of like that size. It was very thick, and it was just kind of round. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make this into, like, an actual, like, sphere, you know? Because I know how to do that, and I like doing that, and it's mind-numbing and relaxing. So I was doing that, and I had done it before with a bunch of different other yarns. And I got to this one, and it was going great for about 10 minutes. And then I found 2 threads. And these 2 threads were intertwined with each other. And sometimes yarn does this thing where there is one tiny little string out of place around another thread, or around the other bit of the string. So on multiple occasions, I was like, why isn't this coming apart? And then I went, oh my gosh. And then I found where it was connected, and I had to pull it apart. I literally had to break a thread around this yarn to get it apart. But that isn't the worst part, see? Because that was just a minor inconvenience. At least I knew it was happening. And then about 20 minutes into this yarn ball, I realized that this was in fact 2 strings. Because I didn't know it at first. For that second bit, I just thought it was 1 string. I'm not sure how. So I finally figured out that it was 2 strings. Instead of just 1 that kind of looped back around to itself. So I figured out that there was, okay, actually, the way that I figured it out is I came to the end of one of the strings, and there was the other end of the string tied to it. So I spent a good 10 minutes unwinding this yarn ball. I found 2 strings interconnected and went, huh, that's weird. Then I found it tied together. So someone had taken the same yarn and went, oh, it's fine, I'll just tie it together, I'll remember how to undo it. And then they didn't undo it, and it got passed down to me. And it started to make a little bit more sense after that, but I still had 2 strings that were just combined. So I had, this, seriously, like, an actual, like, thing of yarn about this big took me about 30 minutes to roll up, like, normally. Okay, now this was this big, about the same thickness, and it took me about 2 hours. Okay, that yarn ball was the hardest thing that I have ever had to do. Like, physically and mentally draining. It was very difficult. So, yeah, when thread gets knotted, I have a very good amount of patience for it, because I've had to deal with that yarn ball. But also it was a very good like gray color, and I don't have many gray yarns, so it was worth it. It was just very frustrating. And I'm so glad that I never have to do that again. So I finished all of that color. I'm glad, because now I can remove that and I can put it in my little box of completed threads. I have this, and by box I mean I have a duct tape roll, and I just, on my shelf, and I just throw all of my completed threads in there, and then I take care of it all at once because I'm too lazy to do it. So that goes in the duct tape bin. And I get to start on the next color. And I think we are going to do this one. I usually, depending on how much I need of the color, I do about like this much. Because I do get 3 uses out of it. So it's like 3 times this length in little X form. And I think this is always one of the achy parts. I just bop the string a bunch of times until the threads come apart. Okay. And I think I will be ending here in about 10 minutes, but I'll be able to get at least this one in, so. Oh gosh. Dude, threading needles is so hard. Ugh. Why? Okay, cool. I got it. Okay, yeah. Sweaty fingers and thread and trying to, you know, put it through a tiny hole. Not a good mix, but we did it anyway, so huzzah. Okay, come on. I usually do about 3 knots. It's very hard to get them in the same place. But, oh, gosh. Ah, I managed to do it. Okay, cool. This is like a slightly darker color. On the last time that I tried to do this hair, there was, I had 2 colors that looked different when they were in this form, but then when I put them onto the actual canvas, they looked the same. So that was part of the reason why I seam ripped it and redid the palette, so that so that I could just be able to differentiate colors. Hopefully this will not do the same thing, but we'll see. I need to trim that too. I feel like I would be very bad at making ones of like cross-stitch things to sell to people, because sometimes when I don't have enough thread, I'll straight up just not tie it off at the end, which is a bad idea, but because I know that I'm not going to be messing with it, then I know that it's going to be fine. But if I were to sell it to other people, I wouldn't want it to come apart on them, and I'd have to actually tie everything off. So I usually only don't tie things off if I definitely don't have enough string, though. It's the part where I'm struggling to get the needle through with the thread in. So, yeah, it's very rare occasions that actually happens, but... Ow. Another hazard of working with the needle, you do accidentally poke yourself. I don't actually poke myself often, but when I do, it really hurts. One time I poked myself like under my nail, so like right under there. I poked myself right in. It was terrible. God, oh no, I really hope that these don't look the same. And I can't tell until I get multiple of these in, so if everything goes wrong, I will be seam ripping it again. But I don't think so, because it's kind of looking different, so That's a kind of good sign. Okay. Me? Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know where I'm starting, so. There was at one point where I was doing a remote class, and it was like an introduction type thing, like at the start of the semester where you're in a new class and they're like, this is what we'll be doing, and I didn't really care, so I got a cross stitch out and I started doing it, and I was doing it like beneath where the screen could see, but occasionally it would like I would turn it to see the other side, and this would, like something kind of like this would flip up and you could see it on the camera. And when we went back to in-person classes, I asked someone if they could see it because I was just curious, and they were like, yeah, it looked like you were taking notes. And I'm like, I'm so glad that it looked like I was taking notes, because I was actually doing a cross-stitch project and not listening. And they were like, wait, what? I thought you were such a good student. And I'm like, I am sometimes. So that's just a fun story. Ooh, okay, cool. I think these are looking slightly different. I don't think you can tell on camera, but it's the subtle changes. So yeah, that's the story of how one time I got away with not taking notes on a class because I was doing cross stitch. This is where having physical art hobbies comes in handy, you know? Ow. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna finish this thread and then be done for today, because I'm quite tired. But art is very fun. That's why I do it. That's why I'm streaming it, because it's a good time. And I want other people to be having a good time as well, so. Woo! Man, I'm hungry. Does anyone know what they're gonna be having for dinner tonight? Ooh, oh yeah, you told me about that. You do have a wreath to make. Tell me how it turns out, because I also have a wreath. In fact, I wonder if, hold up. I'm gonna finish this line, and then I'm gonna show you a wreath that I made. I'm glad you're having a good time, Manic. Having a good time, having a good time. Ah, I see. Mac and cheese. Yep. Perfect dinner. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this line, and then I'm going to grab a wreath off of my wall, because I want to show you guys, because I love this wreath. But I don't know if it's small enough to fit in the frame. So if we need to, we'll adjust the camera. But okay, and line done. Oh gosh. They didn't finish the mac and cheese, huh? Yeah. That's how little kids be. I don't even know if they're very little, but that's just how children be, so. Wait, can I get this off? Come on, Reese. I know you can do it. Oh, wait, hold up. Come on. Okay, great. Found it. Oh, not an entire box. Okay, that makes more sense. But this is the wreath. There's still the cross stitch, but there's a wreath. I have a little bird on it too. I'm loving this wreath. Like, I made it, actually, I think I made it like last August, and I never ended up hot gluing it together. So I actually had to remake it because I dumped everything off of it and then remade it, I think around December. So I ended up building an entire wreath in like a day. And then I think a friend did one with me, and so I also made hers because she didn't want to finish it either. So I did a wreath, and it's just been hanging up on my wall, and I really enjoy it. So I hope that you enjoy it too, because I'm putting it back up there. But yeah, so I have a pretty wreath. Maybe I will try putting that in my class art show as well, because I am quite proud of that. But for now, I'm going to finish this thread that I have, and then I'll probably be done for the night because I am very tuckered out. Luckily, I've kind of gotten in a rhythm where I can go through the hole pretty easily. The only tricky part is when you're going in rows directly straight up or down. There's at the very end bit when you're transitioning between rows, you can't go back through the same hole without undoing your thread. So you have to either go through slightly different and make sure there's one thread of fabric in between your thread line, or go through a different way and make it wild. It's tricky, but I've learned how to do it pretty well, I think. I mean, you can't really tell because, I don't know, I have a cross stitch here. The thread goes down so fast. Like, for one of these X's, there is a surprising amount of thread that goes into one. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can like finish this color in one thread, and then I get through a third of it, and I'm like, hey, bud, don't be like that. Let's do... Actually, I think this is all. Okay. Oop. Oh, come on. Come on. I know you can tie. Okay, great. So, we did a little bit today. We did a little bit around here, and we finished a color. So, cross stitch takes a very long time, but I will probably post a picture of these when I'm completely done with them, so, because I am very proud of them. So I have 2 out of the 3 done. 1 is almost done. That's a personal project, though. And then today, we finished our owl, which I'm very proud of. I am going to go in, finish the moon, and maybe put some stars in, and do that with the acrylic off camera, and I will post a picture of it. But I have this so far, and I think it's great. Love the little moth. I think I did great on the little feathers. That was a challenge, but it was a good one. So I have that. I think next time I want to, if I still have this, I'll show it off fully completed, because I was a fool and didn't completely finish it today, I guess. But I think next time I want to work on a space jellyfish, which I think is a fun idea. It's for a friend, and it's gonna be mostly like, you know, blues, purples, and pinks, which are my favorite set of colors, and they make for very pretty gradients. So we're gonna have that, and yeah, it should be a good time. But I'm glad you guys could make it, and